here to support them. So talking about the three different services, first of all, we have the business idea selection. So what is that? If there are some people who have decided that they want to apply for the E2, but some of them don't specifically know which business they want to select. So what we do is that we try to help with that decision by analyzing a few criteria about the business and the potential business ideas that they can pursue. So what do we analyze in this service? We analyze the applicant's background, how much they're wanting to invest. That is obviously aligned to the E2, as you were mentioning. We analyze the different locations where they want to settle to make sure that we see the trends and the growing industries for that particular location. And then we also make sure that that everything is aligned to the requirements for the E2, that it's an active investment, that it has jobs that are going to be created, that the investment is substantial. So all those details, we consider them within our service of business idea selection. So that's one of the services that we offer. The other service is the market research. So basically within the market research, what we do is that we are helping applicants for the E2 get some answers before they decide to apply. So they may have a particular business or a particular industry where they want to find out more what's happening specifically in the US or on a certain location. So we dive into that and get answers for those applicants. So we can analyze the overview of a certain market. We can analyze the competition for a certain industry. We can determine, for example, what location they should be in. So, for example, in the past, we've done, let's say, people are coming to establish a school. So they want to know specifically between three different cities or neighborhoods where they should locate the school. So we analyze different criteria. We make sure that we are considering different things such as the household income, the information about how the families are conformed on certain cities and certain neighborhoods, to make sure that we can suggest the right location for them. We also do pricing analysis and product comparison. So if you want to start a business, let's say in shrimp import, and you want to know what the retail price is going to be, let's say in the retail such as Publix or any supermarket, we can definitely do a price analysis, a product comparison, and analyze that within the market research. Other things that we also analyze is what profit margins are within the value chain. So we go deep into that. There may be some clients that not only want to know about the business itself, but already know what they're going to do, and they want to know who their potential clients can be, get their contact information, get the information about the companies that they're working for. And that way, once they get started with their business, they're going to know who to target. So potential list of clients is something that we also do within the market research. And for people who are doing businesses that are perhaps related to import-export, we also have a market research section that we do with that data analysis. So all these things that we do are basically helping people who are going to apply for the E2 to get some answers about a certain business, a certain industry, so that they can have a better picture of what is going on specifically within the industry that they want to go into. So that way they're going to have a better sense of the details of that market and be able to make better decisions once they get started. Okay. So that's regarding our second service. And last but not least, as Patrick mentioned, our expertise in Joorney is preparing the business plans for immigration purposes. And that's mainly where we come in. So once the applicant has decided that they are going to submit all the documentation, one of the main parts of the application is going to be the business plan document. So we make sure that we prepare a solid and professional business plan for the E2 application. Okay. So basically within that business plan, what we do is that We'll make sure that everything that immigration wants to see about the applicant and the business that is going to be established or purchased or franchised is explained clearly within the document. So we're going to include an executive summary. We're going to have an industry analysis, a market analysis, a competition analysis. We describe the applicant. We will also include the initial investment breakdown, which is very important for immigration. We will also include sales and marketing strategies. And regarding the job creation, we make sure that we include a personnel plan that is forecasted for the next 5 years, which is key for immigration. And then we will also include the financial projections for the next 5 years so that we make sure that the positive economic impact is included within the document that we present. So we make sure that, like I said, everything that immigration wants to see, we want to make sure that it's included. Since we've done more than 6,000 business plans in our experience, worked with more than 120 different industries, we will make sure that we can prepare a business plan that can increase the chances of getting approved. Okay, so you can definitely trust us. We have a great team. We're more than 40 people. We have 20 writers, 5 project managers, and everyone is very, very focused on making sure that that the applicants that we serve and the attorneys that we serve are happy with our work. Okay. I don't know, Patrick, if there is any question up until there. I can talk a little bit about our process after, if that's something that people want to know, like how to get started, where to reach us, and all those details. But do we have any questions as of now?
We have some questions. Some of them are pretty specific that I could maybe talk about when I go through some of the industries that we look at for an existing business. But I think you can go ahead, continue on.
Okay, great. So basically I wanted to point out that when you decide either to start or buy or franchise a business, we're going to be ready to do the business plan. So we have a lot of experience, so we have streamlined our process. We do not use templates, so all our business plans are done from scratch. So the idea is that basically we gather the information from the applicants using a questionnaire. And then once we receive it, the team will review it, and then we'll get started on the writing process. So it's going to be a teamwork. So we will be communicating with the client. We would be communicating with the attorney to get the legal side of things included in the plan. And throughout the process, we would be going back and forth in order to determine what the final draft is going to be. So we start the writing process, we deliver a draft, and then over that draft, we have unlimited revisions for all our clients. So that is something that is good to know. And then once we finish, that would become part of the application that would be submitted by your attorney. And that's good, Patrick, that you mentioned that in the beginning, because just as we are not immigration attorneys. We always stay neutral because the attorneys are, they would be the ones really determining what the immigration strategy is. And on our end, we will support that process for them so that you can get, like I said, increase your chances of getting approved. So if anybody has any questions about business plans, about market research, about our business idea selection process, we're here to help. Yes, so we got through the process. So yes. You can go ahead, Patrick. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what businesses there are to buy or to franchise. And I'm interested too.
Perfect. Well, Marianella, thanks so much. And we'll reserve the questions for the end, the Q&A. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and write them in the box. We'll try to get them answered right away, or if it's more appropriate, we'll wait until the end of today's live stream to answer the questions. All right. Marianella, thanks again. I'm going to then now talk about Visa franchise briefly, and who we are and the type of work that we do at Visa franchise and Vetted Biz. And then I'm going to talk about 3 options that we have to support your business search analysis, and then factors to consider when analyzing different industries and businesses. I'm going to also go through a few E2 Visa business case studies, as well as franchise and business examples available on Vetted Biz. Throughout the presentation, feel free to ask questions. I'll try to answer them the best I can, as well as talk about some of the pros and cons to going the franchise route, a business route, or startup route. So real quick, I mentioned it today, a little earlier, but for those that are just joining, Visa Franchise is an advisory firm. We help find and analyze businesses principally for the E2 investor visa. Clients engage our services. We're based here in Miami, Florida. We have staff in China, Mexico, and Argentina. We speak 6 languages, so Joorney has us beat. Our clients have created 2,000 plus jobs over the year, which is fantastic for the US economy. 95% plus approval rate for the E2 visa. Keep in mind, I mentioned earlier, we have had a few clients that have tried investing 70, 80, 90,000. Fortunately, they got denied at the first attempt, and they had to invest more money in buying a company car, funds for Google marketing ads, Facebook ads. Working with their immigration attorney, they were able to overcome the denial. But whenever possible, you should really try to invest at least 100, 120,000, 150,000 or more. And it's just going to make the whole process a lot easier, especially depending on the post. But you'll hear more after speaking to a licensed immigration attorney on that side. So we have a few different models on how we work with our clients. And these are a few different options in terms of being in terms of investing first in a franchise for your E2 visa. You can either be an owner-operator or someone that needs operational support. So owner-operator, you're there every day. At least in the beginning, you're working 20 to 50 hours a week for the first year to 18 months. You're going to invest generally a significant amount of your net worth into the business. We've researched 2,900 franchises to date. I'll go through some of the things that we look out for when we analyze franchises and existing businesses. That's a great option for those clients that are willing to work hard in the business and are able to stay in the US and not have to travel to attend to their company in their home country. Then we also have the clients that they need more operational support. They want to be involved in the business that they're investing in. They have to too for the visa regulation. But they don't necessarily want to be there day to day. They want to be able to check the point of sale software, the QuickBooks. They want to have that full financial transparency and controls in place with their employees, but they don't want to be going to the business every day, and they might have to be traveling, going back to Europe or Latin America to tend to their business needs in their home country or elsewhere abroad. So for those type of clients, they generally partner with the franchisor themselves. They'll invest between $200,000 and $350,000. The operational support clients tend to be more high net worth, where we require a minimum of $1 million net worth. And those clients, again, tend to be later in their careers, 50s, 60s. They've already made it. They have a business that's producing profit, and they don't need to solely live off the US business they're investing in. So we have those 2 options from a franchise perspective. And then also you have the self-guided search option, which opens up existing businesses for sale, where we're running an ambitious project right now, but we should have 3,000 existing businesses, mostly in the state of Florida, by the end of the year, for you to browse and compare how the asking price compares to different businesses in that industry. We already have a lot of the data and comparison tools for the franchise space. So we've gone through over 1,700 franchise disclosure documents for 2019. We're going through 2020 now, a lot of the franchise disclosure documents were delayed because of COVID in terms of the filings. So there's a lot of information on our site, Vetted Biz. I'll go through today. But if you want to be in close contact with you, your attorney, the chosen franchise is, and be with you every step of the way, then you're definitely going to want to look at engaging Visa franchise if it's going to be a franchise or licensed business. Or if you want to go the existing business route, which is a great option for those that already want to have the business in place and the systems, and it's better to work directly with a business broker together with your immigration attorney, and we can connect you with business brokers. If you're looking more for an independent business that you don't want to, maybe you want to change the model around and you don't want to stick to what the franchise system is, that could work for you. And there's great deals right now, especially given what's going on with COVID. A lot of people want to retire early, get out of the business, sell their stake. So there's good options both in the franchise and the existing business space right now. So some industries with compelling business opportunities, fast food, especially for takeout and delivery. So this would be principally businesses that are operating in ghost kitchens. So you might have 10 different restaurant concepts. You could open it up for as little as $100,000. And with that, you're just doing takeout and delivery. So it could be as low as 20% of the initial startup cost of a similar restaurant concept serving that type of food, but you're just doing delivery and takeout with a lot less employees. So that's been a popular option recently, as sales on the delivery apps have gone up over 100% for many of the delivery apps. Real estate property management, depending on the vertical, it's been affected more or less. If you look at property management firms that work with commercial, homeowner associations, residential, both long-term and vacation rentals, they've been affected differently. And then you have healthcare, cleaning. I see that we have a question from Mishu. How is window cleaning business for E2 and as a whole viability? I would expand out from just doing window cleaning to doing commercial cleaning overall. So also janitorial services. It's a great option where you have renewable revenue and you can expand your book of business. There's also some opportunities to combine both the franchise and existing business option, where you buy an existing book of business and then you roll that into a franchise system. So you have the initial and ongoing support with the franchise, but you're also not starting from zero. And there's some synergies and cost reduction when you do, if you do decide to go on the franchise route. Pet care is a great option, as adoption rates have gone up 30% during COVID. So a lot of people are getting pets. We've had quite a few clients invest over the years in animal hospitals, doggy daycare, and other pet related services. Business services, insurance, tax, not the sexiest area, but necessary services where, again, you have that renewable revenue. Beauty, hairdressers, barbershops, traditionally pretty high margin businesses. And then education, school reinforcement, and childcare, especially in certain areas that have been impacted less or more by COVID. And depending on how the restrictions are, if kids are doing online learning, and if you're in an area and you have a child that's 7 years old, probably has online learning fatigue, but the school's not open. So you might bring your child into a tutoring center, or even have an in-home tutor to come to your house. So there's great opportunities right now in education and across all these different industries, but you got to really look at it on a business by business aspect. And we recently did a study where we looked at the default rate for SBA loans over right around the Great Recession. So 2006, 2009. And we did find that food had a very high default rate. Well over 20% of the SBA loans defaulted in the food space. And for food, it proved to be better to not be a franchise. The default rate for non-franchise food businesses during the last recession was better than the franchises as a whole. So that tells you a few things, that there can be false promises when a franchisor is saying that it does better in a recession. Ask them for the stats, talk to franchisees. talk to franchisees that have left the system. No two businesses are created equal, and you can't generalize that franchising is better than existing business or vice versa. It's really going to come down to an industry-specific question where we publish those results on Vetted Biz, as well as an opportunity by opportunity. And you have all that information related comparing franchises on our website, Vetted Biz. I went through some of these key factors, but right now, looking to buy an existing small business, you got to look at the profitability. How has it been in 2018, 2019? Ask for the financials from the business broker or business seller. If it's a franchise, it's a little trickier, especially if they don't disclose the numbers in item 19. The financial information is disclosed there for many franchisors in the item 19 of the franchise disclosure document, but not all are required. So you're going to have conversations with the franchisees to understand the profitability of the business. Recurring revenue. So we like those businesses where you have recurring revenue, where it's a book of business, whether it's a barbershop, commercial cleaning, landscaping, property management, insurance, accounting, where you're growing that book of business over month over month. High margin business. So this could be anything like insurance. It could be an ice cream shop. Management team in place, and very important, especially to see how they weathered the last crisis. Industry and brand and growth. You don't want to be investing in an industry like big box gyms, the gyms that used to have 200 people, where now the trend is more boutique fitness and even online fitness. Same goes for retail products and services. Those are not the top businesses to be investing in. And we got a lot of inquiries about gas stations. People aren't driving as much. So you're not going to have those retail product sales at the gas station, which traditionally has been the bulk of the profit from gas station operators, not necessarily in the gas being sold. And then strong liquidity, making sure that there's enough money on the balance sheet and you're well capitalized to withstand any potential double dips with the coronavirus. We're not seeing industries all be impacted in the same way. And you have some industries like, again, delivery and takeout, which has done better during this current environment. We've seen also some healthcare related businesses do significantly better. Business services with insurance that have even done better during this downturn. There's a lot of good opportunities too to buy an existing insurance business and then rebrand it as a franchise, or keep it as that agency if you don't want to have the system and support of the franchisor and you prefer to have more flexibility. So we're here with you to empower your business decision in terms of what business you buy or what franchise you invest in. When you combine that with moving to the US, it's a little scary. You're moving your family, you're investing in a new market. We want to power you with the tools to make sure that the chances of success are as high as possible for you and your family, and both adapting to the US and from a business standpoint. So we pre-screen all the businesses. We've gone through thousands of franchise disclosure documents. We review the past 3 years' financials. So this includes the income statement, the balance sheet, as well as the cash flow. On the franchisor parent company level, we review litigation and bankruptcy as well, in terms of the management team, the owners of the franchisor themselves. We review litigation. We review the litigation, consumer franchisee satisfaction survey. So we see how the consumers as well. So basically, someone going into a barbershop, how satisfied they are with the service of that franchise. We review that, as well as seeing how satisfied the franchisees, the existing franchisees in that system are, before we present any business to you. So these these services, pre-screening all the businesses, custom extensive study, as well as white glove service. This is available for our clients that choose to engage our services. If you want to go the self-guided approach through Vetted Biz, then you would have the information all there. But we're not going to be doing white glove service, custom extensive study, etc. So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but we're with you every step of the way. You have a dedicated client manager, access to our product development team, and we're in daily contact with franchisors, attorneys, and other advisors supporting your process. So if you value someone being with you every step of the way to ensure that your time frame is met and that you get your E2 visa in a reasonable amount of time, and that businesses are pre-screened, and you prefer having more of a matchmaker help you throughout all that process, we're here for you at Visa Franchise. If you prefer to do it all yourself, which is fine, you have Vetted Biz, as well as you can reach out directly to business brokers through Vetted Biz to better understand what opportunities might be available that may be coming to market in the near future. So real quick, I wanted to go through a couple case studies. So we have two case studies here. One is on a property management. Our client invested in Los Angeles in 2017. Now he has over 200 locations under management, 200 units rather, under management. He started with zero. He invested $110K that went into franchise fee, rent deposit, some working capital, marketing spend, his corporate car to visit the properties. So I got him to $110,000. He has ownership of 100% in this franchise. He wants to stay in this for the foreseeable future. He's very happy with the portfolio of businesses that he has built up over the years. He has a few employees, which with 3 W-2 employees, it should be a layup for the renewal of the E2 visa in 2 years' time. And it's been a pretty high profit margin business with sales well over $500,000 a year. If he was to sell this business today, right now, property management franchises or property management businesses, if you want to buy an existing property management business or say an existing other service-related business like landscaping or commercial cleaning, they're usually trading at 1 times revenue. It can vary, but right now we're seeing pretty high valuations for those service businesses that are a little less affected by COVID. So if it's doing $500,000 in sales or $600,000 in sales, you could expect it to have the asking price around then, and maybe you get it for a little less. So there is an option to invest more money. So from day one, you have revenue coming in, but keep in mind, it's going to cost you. But there are great opportunities right now to buy existing portfolios of property management throughout the US, especially in Florida, California, and Texas. And then everyone asks about the green card option. I don't want to go into that much today. Our focus is really on the business. But for this client, his wife's already employed, and the employer is in talks with her right now to sponsor her green card. I'm not sure if it's the EB2 or EB3, but that is a very popular option for our clients that want to stay in the US, where you have the investor that invests in the business, whether the franchise or existing business, and then the spouse, you have work authorization, so you can get a job outside the business, and then have the employer sponsor you for the green card. So this option is a little different, where the client invested more money, $225,000 in a landscaping business, where the client owns 51%. The licensor has a minority non-controlling stake, 49% in the business. The client wants to keep this on for years. They want to keep renewing the E2 visa. They're happy with their annual return around 10%. It's been a little less because of COVID, more like 7-8%. But the annualized return over the next 5 years, closer to 10%. He's happy with that return. And for fiscal reasons, he doesn't necessarily want to have a green card. So for this option, the client did purchase existing contracts. It's not a franchise, it's a licensed business. And you have a 49% partner with skin in the game that's there to support the day-to-day operations of the business. And the client has full transparency of the financials through the bank account, point of sale software, the accounting software, the QuickBooks, and they have monthly meetings to review the financials and the strategy of the business. Just to preserve our time today, I'm not going to share the client testimonial right now, but we'll go ahead and send a link for you to view the client testimonial. And now I just want to go through a couple business examples that we have on our site. So we're actually fortunate. Next week, we have a live stream with Estrella Insurance. It's a franchise that's been around for 40 years now. They have 149 locations throughout the United States, and they're expanding throughout the US. We have multiple clients that have invested with them and that are in the process of investing with Estrella. Again, they're based in Miami, founded in 1980, 149 locations. You can invest as little as $50,000. So it might be a little low for the E2 visa. You're going to have to see with your immigration attorney. Maybe you have to invest in a couple locations to qualify for the E2. If you're interested in this opportunity, you can go ahead and just fill out the franchise request information here on our site. I'll send a quick link for everyone just to see where they can access this information. And then also sign up for the webinar. If you'd like to learn more about this insurance franchise as well as the insurance industry. It's not necessarily the first thing that you think about when investing in a franchise. Most people think about food, but we like the margins of insurance, relatively low startup costs, and then you have that renewable revenue, that book of business that you're growing over time. So feel free to dial in to our live with the head of franchising at Estrella Insurance. We're going to be bringing them on. I'm just going quickly back. Wanted to go through another example of a franchise, as well as let's go through a pool maintenance company. So this is now at the higher investment threshold, where now, given COVID, you're probably going to invest much closer to the 200K, 220K for this franchise, Rush Bowls. They've already done the grab and go concept for many years now. So they've already been well positioned with how their business model is in the environment that we currently are in with COVID and sanitation and making sure that the restaurants are COVID compliant as possible. They have 34 locations, not as long of a tenure as other franchise, but 2004, it's not bad, 16 years. They've gone through some economic downturns. They've had a lot of time to revamp their business model, and they have locations throughout the United States. If you're interested in this opportunity, feel free to just fill out the form and we'll get you in contact directly with Rush Bowls if you're interested in exploring this opportunity for your E2 investor visa. And then the last one I wanted to go through, it's an existing business. So you can see the asking price tends to be more for existing businesses rather than if you were going to start, for example, a pool maintenance business. This business has been around for 32 years. So it's passed the test of time. It's a little expensive on the asking price, but when you look at earnings, that it's already doing $218,000 of earnings. It's not bad. It's a multiple of about 5 times profit. Depending on how many hours the owner is working, it's going to depend the multiple that's used of profit to get at that asking price. For this, the owner is working 20 hours a week. So with a deal like this, you could potentially look to see if they'd be willing to do owner financing, maybe do a lower offer of $700,000, $600,000, and finance the rest over the period. This is in Jacksonville, a growing area of the United States, where you don't have the same high cost of living as, say, Southern California or even in Miami, where we're based. So if you're looking for a more low-cost area, a business that has much runway to expand, and that you'd already be earning substantial profits from the business, you can definitely consider this business. And if you have an American partner, you might also qualify for SBA loan. So you could potentially put 30% down as equity and then get financing for the rest. And we're seeing rates really low, like around 5% for a loan of about 10 years. So that's an option for those E2 visa investors that might have a local business partner that they could buy a business together, and the American partner, the business might be eligible for an SBA loan. So I'll go ahead and share this as well for those that want to explore existing businesses or take a look at this this particular opportunity that's been around for 32 years now. All right, so we've gone through Estrella, Rush Bowls, the pool maintenance company. Now I want to turn it over for questions. Does anybody have any questions related to starting an E2 visa business, buying an E2 visa business, or going the franchise route? We'd love to hear from you. All right, we have a question. In terms of, we're based in Miami, Florida, Miami Beach rather. Do we just have opportunities available in Florida? Actually, the first client that we ever worked with decided to invest in California, in San Diego County. So we do have opportunities throughout the United States. And we principally work with clients that are looking to move to Texas, California, Florida. But we've worked with clients, if I had to guess, probably in 12 or 14 states around the US. So we're definitely not limited to Florida in that regard. And yeah, Marianella, maybe you want to talk a little bit about it, but tomorrow it's important to note that we also have a similar talk in Spanish that we'll be co-hosting.
Yes. So regarding what Patrick was saying about having presence in different states, we are also working with applicants and attorneys all over the U.S. So if you may need any support regarding market research or establishing a business in a different state, we can definitely help you. We have the sources, the subscriptions, and all the information that we need in order to get the information to be able to help you. And then, yes, tomorrow at the same time at 12, we will be doing the same webinar, but in Spanish. That is actually my native language. I'm originally from Colombia. So if there are any Colombians out there that want to listen to the webinar in Spanish or from any other country, en español va a ser mañana, así que bienvenidos.
Perfect. And we have another question. Is there a difference in the immigration E2 process for the startup, buying, or franchise options? I'll answer the buying or franchise options. So buying a business, you're going to work together with your immigration attorney, corporate attorney, and then the business plan writer, Joorney, and business broker oftentimes. And generally, the funds might be held in an escrow account, where you might have to put a deposit down, a non-refundable deposit of 10 or 20% that the seller would keep if your E2 visa is not approved after the first or the second attempt. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Buying an existing business, the process is a little different in terms of the business plan and the general strategy. For the franchise option, you can potentially look to have some of the funds in escrow for like the franchise fee, and again, put down a deposit. But more often than not, you're just going to have to go in and invest the funds and work with the right immigration attorney and business plan writer. And if the E2 visa is denied, and a very small chance the first attempt, the consulate's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to remedy it. To my knowledge, we've never had a client denied for an E2 visa when the business was already up and operating. If it's not open or you haven't even signed a lease, you could get denied for the visa. That being said, we've had a couple approvals where there's just a letter of intent and not even a signed lease. we've also had a couple of denials with that. So to the extent that you can have the business open and operating, or as close to open and operating as possible, you have a very, very high chance of being approved for the E2 visa. And it's really important to listen to your attorney's advice and not cut any corners. Marianella, do you want to comment a little bit on just the startup, and how the process might vary?
Yes, well, actually, regarding the business plan itself, we would be making sure that everything regarding the initial investment is included. So whether it's starting or buying or franchising, we'll make sure to include all those details about if it's operating, the details on the initial investment, what the breakdown is of that money that is being put at risk. So we will make sure that it is included in a way that that it's easy for the officer to understand all the details that are there. Yes, so basically overall we get for all the business plans that we do for E2s, we get the different options. If it's starting, buying, or franchising, it's more making the decision that people feel more comfortable with. So people who perhaps are looking to start something similar to what they were doing in their home country, or something where they have a particular skill set, that is always very positive. So we'll highlight that within the business plan regarding the description of the applicant themselves. Buying or franchising is always very interesting because the initial investment versus starting it, sometimes it's going to be a little bit more straightforward because you have the franchising fee, you have the purchase details that are going into the initial investment. So that's always something that makes it stronger, I would say. However, all the three options, we can definitely prepare the business plan for that.
Perfect, much appreciated. And then we have another question. Where do you potentially see higher ROI between the startup, buy, and franchise options? Is there one direction that gets better returns than others? Higher potential ROI, I would definitely say startup. The sky's the limit. You could have some technology that just grows exponentially. The good thing and bad thing, it could go amazingly well, and then you sell the company, and then you have to get another business for YouTube. So we've had a few clients that's what they did. They came to us for a franchise after they had a startup, or the business fails, and then you have to start again from zero. So in terms of ROI, startup, but there's significantly more risk depending on what industry that you're in. And then for buying a business or the franchise option, it's really going to depend. You have to look at it in terms of how much time you're willing to allocate to the business, especially if it's a new franchise location. Or if you're not willing to allocate as much time, that's going to also vary a lot how the E2 visa, how the return is rather for your E2 visa investment. And then how long is the process to buy a business or franchise for the E2 visa? We generally work with our clients over a 6-month basis, where the first 2 weeks we're exploring businesses on their behalf. They receive a study, 50-page report. We connect them with franchisors. They will generally take a month to 2 months to decide what business to invest in. And then once they're ready to invest together with the attorney, a month to finalize the paperwork. And then consults are now back up and open, so another month or so for the visa. So I would budget in anywhere from 3 to 6 months. We've done it in as little as 5 days, but that was rushed, and it was tight. It was hard for everyone involved in the process. But I would definitely budget in 3 to 6 months, so you have the proper time to do your own due diligence and analysis with the different options available, whether it's existing businesses, franchises. Startup might take a little longer because of the market research. You got to really be sure. It's a very competitive marketplace, so it's important to work with Joorney, better understand the marketplace, and not rush right into a startup where you're going to have to invest $100K plus to get the E2 visa approved. And then we have a question for Marianella. Is there a difference in pricing for the E2 business plan writing for the startup, buying a business, or the franchise option?
No, there's actually not. And the good thing with us is that we also have flat fees. I mean, it doesn't depend on what industry you are doing, the investment amount, or the type of business that you're starting or buying or franchising. Our fees currently are going to be 1,650. That's for the 7 to 10 business day turnaround with unlimited revisions for one applicant and one industry. So that's going to be just for you to have an idea about how much is going to go into the business plan approximately.
All right, back on here. Well, we've had some great questions. Thanks everyone for joining on YouTube, on Facebook. If you'd like to enter into contact with Visa Franchise, here's our contact. You can also visit our portal here. Give us a call at 1-888-550-7556. So you have our contact information here. We're located on Lincoln Road in Miami Beach. And then for Joorney, you have, where's the contact? You can visit them on their website and ask for Marianella.
I think it's not on there, but maybe the team can help us by sharing our website and my email. And if anybody has any questions, I'm always here to support them.
Perfect. There you have it now in the bottom right corner of the screen, joorney.com, info@joorney.com. Reach out to Joorney. They're a great first step of the process to really, if you're not sure at all what you want to do, it's better that you talk first to Joorney to understand the pros and cons, the startup potential, franchise, existing business. If we can help you on the franchise side, that'd be great. We'd love to advise you. If you like to go to the existing business route, check out Vetted Biz, and you can have the self-guided approach. Again, thanks everyone for joining. It was a pleasure to have Marianella on today.
Thank you, Patrick.
Business plans.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you. And everyone else have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Bye, everyone.